This is Uncensored Guyana. I am Dr. Prasad. How are you doing? I want to start today with a prayer. I'll do the most common, popular prayer that all of us know. For me to do it in Hindi, I have to get the text, but I'll do what everybody knows. I think in school, back in the day, when school meant something, we had to recite that prayer quite often. So I want you to pretend that you're a kid and clasp your hands and close your eyes. And let's pray together. Okay? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. So mote it be. Shanti. In the scriptures, the book of Hosea, in the Holy Bible, the book of Hosea, chapter 6, and the 4th verse said, and I quote, my people, the Lord was talking about Israel at the time, and it's applicable today. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. That is what God, through his prophets, then acknowledged and expressed concern as to that was God's diagnosis. That his people, the Israelites, perished for the lack of knowledge. It was present and futuristic in its application. The fact that God was saying that his people perished for the lack of knowledge, he was pronouncing on a situation that was current. And we can say it can be projected, will perish or shall perish for the lack of knowledge. You want to make it more dramatic? Says, my people are, present tense, destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. In the present tense. I, Dr. Prasad, borrow that expression from the Almighty that was revealed through the prophets. And I say on this day, my people, the Guyanese, are destroyed. They continue to perish for the lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge. And I'm speaking general knowledge. There is another part of the Bible that says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is good. You don't need to define the word good. Good is good. In God's wisdom, through his prophets, he said, challenging the people at the time and today to prove, evidence, proof, all things, and hold fast. Mean you hold it, you hold it, you hold it to that which you have proven to be good. And by that, it's inclusive of truthful, honest, organic, pure, original. That's the good. When you prove that thing, and it has all of those characteristics, that's what you stick in your head. That becomes religion to you, and your heart, your mind, your soul. Religion. Because you would have proven it based on evidence, self-satisfaction. You are satisfied. That's the challenge the Creator across religion said to his followers and his people. Don't be a slave to laziness, that you need to depend on the ecclesiastical stool or spoon to feed you their interpretation of events. You have the same ability to understand and use your mind. Place yourself in situation. Let your feelings and your reality give you the impression that suits you. That's what the Creator forever bestowed upon us. Exhort us to walk with that kind of consciousness. I implore you, Guyanese, I implore you, do the same. For heaven's sake, do the same. And stop making these politicians think they're gods. Stop doing it. Because they're not. Because your scriptures also tell you, don't make anything as an idol to yourself. The only idol you should have is the deity that you bestow your trust and belief on, whatever way you can, but not humans. I speak for Guyanese, not politicians. Guyanese. Because of the mistake the average citizen continues to make in thinking that they're doing themselves a favor by favoring a politician's dream and prospect. Because of that, every night you retire in your bed and you turn on your mattress and you can feel the board that your mattress is on, blame yourself. Every time you go to sleep at nights and you're so bothered by the mosquitoes that you can't get a good night's rest, blame yourself. Every time you go to sleep at nights, but you can't sleep because you're burdened with the nightmare of what the next day brings, bills to pay, kitchen empty, gas tank is empty, you need to fix your car, your children needs to be serviced, you need to be serviced. So you can't pull any miracles out of your head overnight to realize that reality. Blame yourself. When you see government officials on social media flaunting their wealth, their friends, their children, rubbing the riches in your face, arrogantly talking things on podium, when you come across that on social media, blame yourself. Because all of that you are responsible for. Can every citizen in Guyana experience a comfortable life? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they can. Why not? Blame yourself. Because to this day, I am yet to see any politician that I can hold fast to that they're good. I said a lot of shit before. Like I said, shit. And that shit that I said helped the PPP to get 50,000 more votes. I take responsibility for that. I do. The universe knows I do. I can't change it. It has happened. What I do from this point, that I can control. I'm going to digress to acknowledge a glorious day for the Suriname people, the nation of Suriname. Glorious day. You see, sports brings people together. Sports cut across racial lines, ethnic boundaries. Sports is the only activity that unites a nation around one common interest and one common goal. We did it. It's not the black did it, or the Indian did it, or the Chinese did it, or the Caucasian did it. We did it. So the Surinamese, as a nation, with a multi-diverse ethnic composition, they joined together. Chinese, Indian, Amerindian, joined together. And they all raised their ego to the sky because their sons made them proud. By becoming one of the team in the finals, one step towards winning the FIFA World Cup 2025. One step. It has been decades for the country to have achieved that milestone. It is second to none. There's nothing the country could have done right now that can match being in the finals for the FIFA World Cup. If Suriname wins the World Cup, it meant they would have had, as a small nation less than 1 million people, 600,000 or below that. That nation of 600,000 people would have produced the greatest soccer players in the world if they win the World Cup. If they win. Let me tell you why that matters. These are the same players that would have played in matches before that would have been there trying to get a chance at the World Cup before. Some were new, but the point is the same team, same nation, same team, same ground. What is different? Leadership. Leadership is different. For some reason, the nation of Suriname found inspiration, found hope, found energy, tapped into their deepest ability that they would have suppressed due to politics. With the ascension of the first female president of Suriname, everybody rallied behind that, were excited. They felt that we are the first president of Suriname because of the woman, because of Dr. Simmons, Jennifer Simmons. The inspiration, the motivation, the trust, the honesty, the transparency that she has injected into her government within just 2 months of taking office rallied the people up, energized the people. Young men start to dream, young women start to dream. The old people saw a reason to want to continue to live. All the hope was alive again. Everybody was affected positively, to the point that in every area of the country, you are seeing progress in a short space of time. Crime dropped, enthusiasm increased, students are doing better in school, university is producing more people are getting jobs, more businesses are being opened. There's a garbage truck in front of my yard. Everything is fired up. And that team wanted to make the first female president proud. So they tapped into all they had to make their country proud, because they love their president, love their leader, and they want to put the country at that level. So everybody benefited because of the leader. It matters who your leader is. Your scripture also says that, right? If the leader is fucked up, the whole nation is fucked up. If the leader is corrupt, the whole nation is corrupt. Your Bible says that, all the sacred books say that. Be careful who you choose to lead you. Remember all the stories when the Israelites wanted this special person and that special person. You see what happened to the nation? Then God says, okay, fine. This is what you want, go ahead. And when they start having problems, they run to the church, run to the priest, run to this, run to that. Oh, beg the Lord to help us. It matters who runs your country. The previous president, President Santoki, for 5 years, nothing happened in this country. Nothing happened. No enthusiasm. no motivation. The sport sucks. Nobody wanted to hear anything about sports. People just didn't give a shit. They had no reason to want to even live because of how they suffered. They perished. Now they're rising up without oil money because of the leader who surrounded herself with elements of trust, belief. So the people saw the leader is good, so she equipped her cabinet and her people with elements that are good. And the nation is rallying behind that. I want to extend my congratulations, not just to the team, but to the president of Suriname. She stimulated them. She motivated them. To them, she's a mother. They want to make mommy proud. So they did their best and they keep some in reserve for the finals. Let's hope they win. They're also CARICOM. They're one of us. So if they win, we won. The Caribbean. Guyana. President Irfan Ali. I'm not here to judge you. I don't know you to judge you. I can only speak based on what is coming out of your cabinet and what comes out of your mouth. But the environment, the fact that Guyana is still widely divided, the fact that racism is still alive in Guyana, the fact that people are still being discriminated against by their government, the fact that people still see the need to migrate out of Guyana, the fact that every day there are instances of corruption, reports on corruption, corrupt official, lying politician, scammers, crooks, embezzlers, you name it. The buck stops with you, President Irfan Ali. It mattered to the Guyanese people who their leader was. So because of that, I may have done an injustice to the Guyanese people by putting my credibility behind you, President Ali, and I know nothing about you. I gambled on that you as a president, or as a person rather, will align yourself with people of like-mindedness. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So if you communicate this impression that you are a man that stands for justice and truth, and law and order, which includes fairness, then how can you explain the people that you have recycled in your cabinet, the fact that you have people like Gail Teixeira, who's still a minister of governance, Anil Nandalal, and all these other people in your cabinet? What's the explanation for that? Are you saying that they are your friends and like-mindedness? Because if these people are an extension of you, President Ali, then I was wrong about you. You're not the kind of guy I thought is good. Because if these are your buddies and they represent you as in your character, then we have a problem here. No wonder Guyana is what it is. No wonder all the talks about clamping down on corruption, that was since in 2020. 5 years and they still can't clamp down on it. And now they're saying, oh my gosh, we can't stop it. It is something we can't stop, but we'll try. No, but you trying to stop, to clamp down corruption, you are clamping down on the mailmen, on the janitors who are doing corruption for your bodies. They're the ones who are suffering the consequences. And then you say, well, you see, the government stopped corruption. No, the government just arrested the person who was delivering the corrupt item. They did not arrest the person who gave the delivery man the item. He's still in the cabinet. He's still a minister. He still shows up at all the functions that the government organizes. Nobody touches him. So he can always get another delivery boy to do his bidding. Then he will get arrested too. Before you know it, there is no longer delivery boys there. Then they'll use the cops to do it, because the cops can't arrest themselves. Show me your friends, President, and I'll tell you who you are. And based on your friends, I might very well say you are corrupt, because your friends are corrupt. Blatantly lying to a smart population. Do you know that Guyana has the best education system in the Caribbean? Oh, it's not Trinidad. Guyana has the best education system in the Caribbean. So when you treat Guyanese like they're idiots, and you put these hustlers to come online and do your bidding, you question the quality of the education that Guyanese are exposed to, because it seems like they're stupid. You can tell them anything and they buy it. They can't utilize their mind. I mean, they cannot apply what God has said. Prove all things, because to prove things you got to read. You got to be able to use your mental faculties. You got to be able to reason, understand, comprehension, English B. The fact that they're buying every shit that comes out of the cabinet, it means that Guyanese are idiots. They're stupid. I mean, after all, the vice president was correct when he said it back in the day. He know what he was talking about. As a president, he knows that, okay, maybe the quality of education Guyanese are exposed to is shitty. So it can't help them to use their mental powers. So politicians can say anything and they get away with it. Imagine the American had to come out and say, hey, we did not hire a lawyer, or we did not instruct the government to hire a lawyer for us. The Americans came out and debunked that. It seemed like it was the fucking government's idea, because the Americans were moving too slow and they want to push the process. They want to push the Americans, like poke them. Hey man, you're too slow. Hey man, let's get this over with. So the government came up with this idea, hey, let's just hire the lawyers for them. And we'll make some excuse and tell the people, hey, it is a part of the treaty, the fucking treaty. It's a part of the treaty that you have to hire the lawyer for your enemy. Yeah. It is not moving fast enough. So to force the process, the Americans say, okay, we're not in a hurry for this guy. If you are in a hurry to get rid of him, then you do it. You try him, you do it on your expense and deliver him to us. That's what it is. They're not in a hurry. Their process takes time. They can play the long game. Imagine, they're investigating since 2017 and even before that. 2017 to 2025. That's how many years? 8 years. 8 years before they can get an indictment. 8 years. So they would have been prepared to wait another 8 years to get the Bahamas. But it seems like the government is in a hurry. So, hey, we're not going to take lawyers to deal with this. You take the lawyers. But it wasn't something that was suggested by the Americans. They said, no, the Guyana government secure lawyers on their own terms. We didn't instruct them to do that. They did it. So we said, okay, well, if you're getting free stuff, then take it. Then take it. Why say no? You're helping us out. Well, okay. You you are a good neighbor. You're fighting our battles for us. You might as well just pay the plane ticket and stand the expenses to get the man out. Or we can do that because it's our plane. It's no problem. We can pay a $300 ticket and fly them to America. It will cost us $600 for that. We have no issues. After all, we don't have to pay $62,000. We can pay $600. One of these agents can just go in his pocket and say, I'll donate this for you, man. Just don't worry about it. And the stupid government that we have, so desperate to get rid of the Bahamas. You would think that these people are so poisonous. As a matter of fact, you would think the way this thing is being carried out is though the Bahamas are like a virus that is contaminating the nation. And the government might lose control over the people if they let the virus linger too long. So they need to hey, let's do what we got to do and get rid of this virus, man, because it's giving us a headache. The people are being contaminated. The people are now becoming contagious. This is contagious. We're losing the people. We don't have an antidote for this. We don't have a medicine for this. We have to get rid of the host. And the host is the Mohammeds. We got to get rid of them. And the Americans are taking too long, man. Too long. Let's help them out with our fucking taxpayers' money. Then you come online and you lie. You fucking lie. As if we're all idiots. All of us are idiots. We can't read. We can't comprehend. Oh, it's the law, and the law is interpreted a different way. I mean, come on, man. Because you're Attorney General, you're the smartest lawyer? No, you're not. The dumbest one. You're not the smartest one. Because if you were the smartest one, you wouldn't have done what you did. First of all, you wouldn't have hired Jamaicans and paid them with Guyanese money. You would have done that. You would have taken lawyers from Guyana. What kind of political thing? What? You mean every lawyer in every law firm in Guyana is politically persuaded? So if you get an Indian lawyer, people will think it's a PPP lawyer, or a black lawyer is a PNC lawyer. I mean, come on, man. The kind of shit these people talk about. Lawyers are fighting cases every day. Lawyers are fighting cases every day in the courts in Guyana, every day. But you never hear the verdict was political. Never hear that. They defend blacks and Indians and all kinds of people. But in this special case, you can't trust the lawyers in Guyana because you don't want people to think it's a political thing. It is a fucking political thing. What do you think it is? It is. It's politics. The fact that you hiring private lawyers for the Americans is political. Let the process go how it goes. They made an extradition request. Let it go how it's supposed to go. Let them bring their own lawyers. Let them pay their own lawyer because they're coming into your country. They're asking your permission to extradite one of your citizens. And you're going to help them do it? They have to come and present their case. They have to come to your courts and make their case before your judge using their attorneys. And then we can always file this. They kind of ghetto, well, I did say the ghetto crew. The kind of ghetto language these guys use, man. You know, You overcharge people, and then you say, "Don't worry, I know how I'll get that money back." Because you're gonna put on the price of on other commodities so that other people pay the cost. That's how some business do it. They sell some products under the price, they never lose. Then some other products they jack the price up so they can recover the cost of the loss on that product on the other products. They do it all the time, price gouging. Politicians do it too. We have seen it plain as day with Alan Landala, plain as fucking day. With that guy. So look, I'll come back to that. There is a situation in Essequibo. I've heard it forever. But the amount of people that are reaching out to me, I couldn't ignore it. So I'm saying now, those people who are watching, if you are in position that you can make a difference, make a difference. I want to remind you, especially President Irfan Ali, I have to deal with you. You are the head. The buck stops with you. People voted for you, not Jack Dio, not Nandalal. None of these cronies you have, nobody voted for them. Guyanese voted for you. The people of Essequibo voted for President Irfan Ali, or Irfan Ali, the candidate. You convinced them that you're the best man for the job. You convinced them that you're humble, that you're a simple person, that you understood their struggles, you know their struggles, you are a country boy from Lenora. You convinced the country because of the stuff you did leading up to the elections. You did it masterly well and got the sympathy of the citizens. Imagine poor people who can't pay their bills, who can't even pay for hospital visits, poor people who can only eat one meal a day, Indo-Guyanese who can only eat dal and curry every day because they can't afford anything else. Those people, that category of people, cried, prayed, sacrificed, used their vehicles to which they can't even put gas in or fix the tires to help other people go to the polling station on September 1st last to vote for an already multi-millionaire man who was president already, to give him a second chance. Imagine those poor people voted for you, President Ali, so you can get richer. No guarantee that they would ever see $1 million, but yet somehow they want you to get richer, more powerful. Only to do what? To know that after you were sworn in the second time, they don't know where to turn now, because they can't turn to the people they didn't vote for. And turning to the people they voted for, they realize that shit, we got played again. Nobody gives a fuck about us. And we think that these rich people care. Now we see they don't care. They pretended to care before elections because they wanted to continue to get rich by our expense. And now we did it again. So look, President Irfan Ali, the people in Essequibo, there's a what do you call it again? A hospital that you recently commissioned there at Essequibo. There's the Lima Hospital, something like that. In that region, that area where the hospital serves, people are suffering. They were suffering there in your first term, and nobody helped them. They're suffering even more now, and nobody is helping them. President Ali. Nobody voted for that health minister. What's his name? The Minister of Health. Nobody voted for him. All the people that you placed in cabinets and ministries, you put them there, President Ali. You did. The Guyanese didn't put them there. You did. People didn't vote for them. So the buck stops with you. But you're treating your government, President Ali, you are treating the Essequibo people like shit, like they're fucking shit, like they're ghetto dogs. That's how you're treating them. Because when they go to these hospitals, that's how the Cubans are treating them. The Spanish speaking, I thought we had an issue with Spanish. You see, I'm sweating. I'm fucking sweating. That's what happens when I'm angry. I'm sweating. And I have ventilation. We have an issue with Spanish speaking people. They're bombing us. They're performing terrorism in the country. They're doing drugs. They're selling guns. They're giving fucking arms and guns to these fucking lowlifes in the ghettos to go and rob and steal and kill people. The Venezuelans are doing, the Spanish speaking people are doing that. Now the average Guyanese is afraid of these Spanish people. They overwhelm the neighborhoods in Guyana. And the county that Maduro has his eyes on, that wants to take 1/3 of Guyana, Essequibo belongs to us. Remember that? You are flooding the fucking system with a bunch of Spanish-speaking people. Everywhere you turn, there's Spanish-speaking people in Essequibo. Knowing that it's a region that is targeted. It's targeted. You have hospitals, a place that is as sensitive as a hospital, where you are dealing with people's lives, where communication must be to the max, so you understand what the patient is saying, lest you give them wrong prescription, wrong treatment, and you're killing all the Guyanese citizens. You're going to flood the hospitals in Essequibo with fucking Spanish-speaking people who understand nothing with English besides good morning and good afternoon. And I'm Dr. This, and what's your problem? And these Essequibians are supposed to adapt to that, or they have to learn Spanish. Essequibians, they now must learn Spanish so they can communicate to the Spanish-speaking people that you flood the hospitals with. The Spanish-speaking people did not go through orientation in their country. They didn't take English as a second language in their studies because they didn't give a fuck about English. They were trained to serve Spanish demographics, Spanish constituencies, not English. You brought them to Guyana to deal with English-speaking people, poor English-speaking people. And you think because you give them some Spanish in school, every time a parent goes to the hospital, they have to go with their secondary school son or daughter to interpret for them? That's what their vote is for. That's the value of their vote. And that's not all. Your government, President Ali, whatever fucking deal you made with these Spaniards, yeah, Spaniards, but they speak Spanish. All right? What do we say? English, right? We're English. They're Spaniards. You have local Guyanese doctors throughout the country who have to work like fucking slave, and nurses, because of these incompetent doctors and Spanish-speaking doctors and nurses that you bring to the country. Fucking incompetent. The pressure on the local Guyanese doctors and nurses, they have to work 10 times more just to help these people out so they can fit in and they're not giving any rewards for that. You're treating the Spanish light skin, white people looking Spanish doctors and nurses as celebrities. They can't take public transportation. They need special cars to take them around. They can't use hospital transportation. They need special taxis to chauffeur them. They can't live in ordinary houses. They need special hotel, 5-class or 1st-class hotels in Essequibo to stay, where they get all these meals, all these extra things. What the fuck is wrong with the government, man? That's what the vote is. That's why people voted. Is that why people voted? You're treating foreigners like kings and queens, and you're treating Guyanese like a fucking ghetto. Same thing with it's a mentality with the PPP. I think it is. Not the PPP. The ghetto crew at Freedom House. It seemed like it's a mentality now. Treat the foreigners better. After all, Guyanese are used to this kind of low life, low grade, unimportant lifestyle. You know? You move around, you make pictures with Guyanese, give them a hug, let them feel good, and that's it. But the foreigners that you bring, while ignoring Guyanese talent and profession, you're treating the foreigners first class. I wonder where is the lawyers for Anandandalal staying? Is it at the Pegasus Hotel? Is it at one of the hotels that the government officials own? That the government is paying for their stay there as well? Is that how this thing works? Because here is my theory. I think it was a conspiracy. Yeah, Frank Anthony, the doctor of health. Dr. Frank Anthony. Is Frank Anthony a medical doctor? Is he a medical doctor? Because I think if you're going to be the Minister of Health, you have to have a doctorate in medicine, not anything else. Anyway, politics is shitty. Yes, like I was saying. It is a conspiracy. Is it a conspiracy to discourage the local workforce in certain sector so they go or they don't want to work, and then the government officials come online or come on television and they tell the nation, well, we have a problem with staffing. Guyanese don't want to work. Guyanese are lazy. Guyanese are this. Is it a strategic plan to do that so that friends of the government who owns apartment buildings and hotels can cash in on friends of the government sourcing employees from different countries on contracts? So the government has to pay these employees through the agencies of these friends of the government. And these employees, when they come to Guyana, they have first-class hotels, they have transportation, they have meals, they have everything that is made possible by friends of the government. That's how you make the money, right? Because if you have people from Guyana working at these hospitals, they already have place of abode. They know where they live. You don't need to rent buildings for them. You don't need to pay hotels for them. All you need to do is to pay them better salaries. That's all you need to do. They have their own transportation. They have their own houses. It's cheaper for the government to just pay Guyanese professionals more money and let them stay and work than to have to go to fucking Cuba or wherever else and bring these professionals there that you don't even know how much experience they have. They could be just out of the medical school in Cuba. They could be just a year or two. You don't know. Because after all, Guyanese lives don't matter. The main thing is that they're doctors. Don't question how long they're doctors. You see some fucking doctors and nurses that you think they're 16 and 17 years. and they come to Guyana on attractive packages. The remuneration is so good that they can build houses back in Cuba from the salary they get from Guyana. So let's break this down. You can't give Guyanese nurses and doctors free meals, free transportation, and free housing. You can't do that. But you can do it for Spanish-speaking people that you brought. They didn't come on their own. You went and you got them. And you're paying them much more than you're giving your own people. Now, PPP supporters who have a problem with me, try to break that down in your mind. Try to do that. Do your own calculation. And while you do your calculation, don't forget I said at the beginning of my show, I said, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's what I said. Because Guyanese trust these seasoned professional politicians, whatever they say, yeah, but the president said this, so I believe the president, then good. Then believe the president. Yeah, well, you heard what the attorney general said. Okay, good, believe the attorney general. But that's you. Don't fucking try to convince me. You believe it, that's you. Live according to that. So in this sense, when they come out and they say stuff about the Essequibo situation there, no, you tell the people that they're lying. Say to the Essequibo nurses and doctors they're lying. Tell them they're lying. You believe the Cubans and believe your government over the people there. Tell them they're lying. Tell all the patients that goes to those hospitals who can't find care, tell them they're lying. Believe the Minister of Health. Oh, free scanning, free TC scan, free this, free that. They make a fucking show. But the reality is not that. The reality is far from what these politicians continue to bring to the fore. It's not that. Believe your citizens. Because when you find yourself in that position, Guyanese, and you get a taste of what the average person is experiencing, then you will know. But for now, you may have your handouts from the government. You may be getting your cash grants in whatever way. You may have some company that is connected to you. You may have all of that. So you have no issues with money. You have no issues with your job. None of that. So yes, you can come out and say shit. You can try to use whatever you can to paint a good picture that no, he's lying, the government is, you can do that because you don't have a need. But when you have tens of thousands of people turning their back on the government just 2 months after elections, believe the people. When all these things are there, and all these plans the government is bringing to you, this project, that project, this project, that project, you must understand, Guyanese, it costs money. All of it costs money. And all these firms that are benefiting from all the project, no matter what it is, it doesn't matter which ministry, it doesn't matter who is going forward with it, all the projects that are being announced by the president or whoever else from his cabinet cost money. Hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Every one of it. You don't need to know the details. That's according to them. You just need to know that this is happening. And when these projects are completed, you're not a part of it. The people who are attached to the projects are companies that are owned by government officials. All the companies. So when you think that they're private citizens are running it. But the government officials are involved in all of these companies. The only time you know is when a government changes. Then the one that comes knows the dirty work that government does. They'll go into and they will push. Hey, you see, this is what that's the only how you know. But while the government is in the government, they will cover their tracks unless somebody is pissed with them and leak this stuff. So I want you to understand, Guyanese, prove all things. And so far, you have not been doing that. You're taking what these lying politicians are telling you. Lying politicians are telling you. You see how Donald Trump means business? Because the man is not a politician. He's not a politician. That's why he means business. He's a man of action. Hey, get it done. Oh, they're corrupt? Jail them. Maduro, go after him. Don't talk. Get it done. Who don't like it, fuck them. But this is what I want. I have no friends in government. I'm here to serve the people. Who your leader is matters. All they're doing now when it comes to the Azzuddin case is making Azzuddin Mohammed to be more, one, liked by the Guyanese. They are helping Guyanese to get to know Azzuddin Mohammed. And what they're getting to know is that this is a billionaire who did his business the best way he knows how, as most business people would, and they are persecuting the man because they are afraid of him, jealous of him, and insecure about the man. That in fact, this man has no real issues. The man is no real threat other than what they're painting. They have created an enemy and gave that enemy to Guyanese people. But the fact of the matter is the Guyanese people would get to know that Azzuddin Mohammed was never the enemy. The enemy was always the government. So the government manufactured an enemy, which is Azzuddin Mohammed, and gave that enemy to Guyanese and say, hey, you now have to hate this guy because we hate him. And we're going to do our best to prove that he's the enemy by what? Fabricating charges, going after him, getting media houses, trying to seduce the Americans to help us out with getting this guy. What do you think Guyanese will do? They say, no, man. Based on this knowledge, we have proven that Azzuddin Mohammed is the good guy. So we need a good guy who's a billionaire to be the leader of the country. And then maybe crime will go down. Maybe all these Spanish-speaking people would go back to their country. Maybe Guyanese professionals would get better service, better pay. Because if you have a leader that cares about the people, the PPP is helping us now to get to know that this guy cares about the people, because we did not know all the stuff they're talking about this guy before. They are now introducing us to this Mohammed guy. Because of the PPP, Guyanese get to know who Mohammed is. And the way they're doing it, Guyanese are loving the man more. The more they pressure the man, the more Guyanese are loving the man. So if the Guyanese chooses Mohammed as president in 2030, thanks to the PPP, President Ali, Vice President, and this idiot Nandala. Thanks to them.